Well, I finally got my car and I'm on the road to the Stezkia area, which is the site of so many of my relatives. But if you look at this, it could be anywhere near Stevens Point. Looks just like Wisconsin. That's probably why they liked it there. Leaves are turning. This reminds me of home. I had never dreamed that this looks so much like Wisconsin. I can't pronounce, but we're in Kashubia. Notice the shrine. I have to park. And the church with the red brick.
In 1 mile, turn right on Ulikajana I Sobiskiko.
I'm entering Stezjika. The city probably was a village at that time, where many of my and your ancestors came from. Particular.
In 1/2 mile, turn right on Ulikajana I Sobiskiko.
I didn't get that at all. Particularly my great-grandfather, Michael Shulfer, not my dad, my great-grandfather, Mariana Dara, and August Johann Patoka. Jan Patoka also was from here. So we'll get out and take a look. This is more of a resort town now. And there's the church. I'm standing outside the very church that my great-grandfather, Michael Shulfer, not my dad, but my great-grandfather, his grandfather, was baptized at. And also August Patoka was also baptized here, who was Grandpa Patoka's father. So all the Patokas and the Shulfers would have went to church here. And it's an amazing thing to be here, that my ancestors would have walked the same footsteps here. Let's go take a look. It's gated off. Hasn't been in use, probably looks like, I don't know, 50 years, maybe longer. Doesn't look like any restoration project is going on. And there's no cemetery nearby. If there was, it's now with all the building going on. But you notice the red bricks. Polish people love those red bricks. And if you notice also in Stevens Point, surrounding areas, you'll find many buildings and churches with this red brick. It's incredible. Look at the front door here. Grandpa's father would have, as a boy, been walking up these steps, going to church. Walking these grounds, meeting people, talking. Incredible. And my great-grandfather, they didn't live here long, or they emigrated right after that. He wasn't very old. But Joseph Shulfer, my great-great-grandfather, would have been coming here, moved from Oklahoma to this area, which it's an amazing thing. So, a ride through Trzebiatowski, where all the Patokas and Shulfers would have been at one time, 100 years ago, or more than 100.
In 1/4 mile, arrive at Trzebiatowski on the left.
I'm overlooking the beautiful lake in Trzebiatowski right now, and here's probably where all of my ancestors would have gone fishing. There, of course, wouldn't have been all those beautiful homes and condos on the lake at that time. But this is beautiful out here now. It's more of a resort area, but at one time they probably had a tough time getting through there. Probably was woods here, cleared out, and now there are beautiful homes. Well, it's a great sight. I'm just coming into Dubowo. Dubowo is the birthplace of Johann Patoka, who is my great-great-grandfather, and he would be Grandpa Patoka's grandfather. This is where he was born, although I'm only like 2 miles from Trzebiatowski, and he actually moved to Trzebiatowski later. All the Patokas...
Arriving at Dubowo on the left.
Dubowo, there's nothing really here. There's some farmers there, still there. I mean, if you look at this land, you could be in Amherst. But that was Dubowo. Nothing really there, just farms. But the birthplace of Johann Patoka.
Arrive at Kashubia on the left.
I'm now in Kashubia. Kashubia is very significant to our family. Might have to pull over. I'm gonna find if there's actually a little city here. I'm right here at an intersection in Kashubia. I said it before, right? The significance of this is where Josephus Shulfer was born, or Joseph Shulfer. But the important thing is, you can trace down the roots to the Shulfer family here. But the important thing is to all the Glodowskis, to all of the Patokas, to all of the Trzebiatowskis, we all come from this same man who was born right in this area here, right in this farmland. I would have parked at a nicer spot, but so much traffic. The thing is here's how it goes, if you can follow me. Joseph Shulfer had a daughter named Juliana. Juliana married Anton Glodowski. Okay, there's the relations. So all the offspring then became related, of the Glodowskis became related to the Shulfers by that marriage. One of the daughters that Juliana Shulfer had, was Rosalie, or Rose. Rose married Andrew Trzebiatowski. Therein lies the relationship between the Glodowski, Shulfers, and Trzebiatowskis. The rest is history. Rose Glodowski had Martha, or sorry, it gets complicated. Rose Trzebiatowski and Martha, who is my grandmother, who is my mother's mother. So we're all related. All the Trzebiatowskis, the Shulfers, the Glodowskis, and the Patokas all come from the same man who was born in this little town. He eventually moved to Stezica later, but this is where it all started, right here. Oh, beautiful. Wow, it looks like going over. It looks like just like when you're coming into Stevens Point on the Wisconsin River.
Continue on 228.
This is Solizino, where all of the Glodowskis were born. All of my Grandma Shulfer's ancestor were all born in this little village here. I'm going to ride around and see what's
Turn
here.
right on Ulika Kashubia.
All of these places are all within a few miles apart. So the chances that... Now there's something cool. The chances that they probably all knew each other were
Arriving
probably pretty
at
good.
Lexino on the left.
Just think about it. All of the Glodowskis are from this little... Or they might have walked the street just like these two
Please
guys.
drive to highlighted route.
Now maybe they were sober, not unlike those guys there. For curiosity, I came to this cemetery looking for some of the Glodowskis. They were supposed to be buried here, but there's so many, and so many of the old ones, they're just deteriorated that I can't read them, so I'm giving up on that project. Doesn't look too good to find any. I'm in Borzikowy, or something like that, and this is the cemetery where many of the Trzebiatowskis are going to be buried, and I no more than walked into the gate and there was a Trzebiatowski. But there's so many of them out here, and I don't really know if I'm related to them. I probably am, but I'm gonna keep looking for... I mean, there's a lot of the Von Zmuda Trzebiatowskis here, so it's just a matter of I have to find some of the older ones. Well, I'm giving up my search. I think I counted about 20 Von Zmuda Trzebiatowskis. There's so many of them here. But so many of the gravestones are deteriorated, I can't read them, and so I might be looking at it, so I'm giving up. But the funny thing about this is I could be walking in a cemetery in Stevens Point. Every name is exactly the same. Kudrowski, Ponzinski, Trzebiatowski. I mean, it's all the same. It's really funny. So, yeah, there's the Stanislavski. So we definitely are from this area. I'm here in Kuttertop, where this is the birthplace of my great-great-grandmother, Mariana Dera, who married Joseph Shulfer and became Mariana Shulfer. And she's also the great-great-grandmother of all the Trzebiatowskis and the Patokas, and we're all related. I kind of became interested in her because she had, I think, at least 15 kids, or possibly more, and packed up these kids and took that ship ride from Gdansk. Well, they went to Gdansk, then Hamburg, and to the United States, and it was not a 12-hour trip. It was probably months. And the thing is, she got ill, very ill, and died on the ship. And one account was that they buried her at sea. So not very much information is known of her, but someday I might come back here and look through the church records and see if I can find anything more. But this is where she's from. Well, I'm back here and I'm at the cemetery near the church, and I'm going to see if I can find any Shulfers, Patokas, whatever. See if there's any here. I don't know, it's a pretty big place, but I'll take a look. And otherwise than that, it's been a heck of a great experience. The landscaping, the red bricks, seeing all the places, seeing the old church, it was great. I'm glad I would come here again. Signing off. Bye.